Hello everybody. I just want to like a little bit get my thoughts out about Dracotail and what some deck lists are gonna look like in the future, like for DOOD basically right now. Um, just like getting my thoughts out, what variants I think are actually good right now, what variants are probably not that good anymore, and the reason why. So, um, I played Dracotail for since it came out, pretty much. I just tested a little bit against like pretty much every matchup, and this is like a list I am currently running. I'm actually quite happy with it. I tested it against some yummy matchups, against the Mirror, against Mitsurugi as well, which I think Mitsurugi is a really tough matchup if you play the hand trap variant most of the time. And it only gets easier if you basically open 5 mana with one or two names. Or if you play more engine, basically. More engine, like supplementary engines, are also kind of nice against the deck. So first I'm gonna show you my list and just say why I run some cards, why I don't run some other cards maybe. I first go, obviously everybody plays 3 of each. I think that isn't anything different currently. For DOOD I'm going to be running 3 pen, 1 Ogler and 1, I don't know how to pronounce it, the new one basically. I think this one is really good, especially in a grind game, because oftentimes you don't even recycle your 5 mana with it. Oftentimes you recycle Lucius and Grave, so you special summon this and bounce this back to hand, and then search something with Lucius, whichever you basically need. And the way this works, you get a lot more card advantage, like especially against Mitsurugi, like you lose a lot of resources because of Murokumo effect to discard, which is really annoying, honestly. So this helps a lot against that as well. And also against Yami, obviously you get your resources back. It's always good. Like that's why I think this is way better than a lot of people give it credit for. And yeah, I even think you could theoretically run one less Pam and a second one of this. But I think this is a good ratio. If you play a lot of hand traps, I can see you running one of each, or like run like one less Pam, so you have like the same ratio of like 4 names that are not starters basically. If you play hand traps, it's probably this, like if you play a lot of hand traps. But I think if you play a lot of engine, like you want to have as many names as possible, and this is why I'm currently running this. I think hand traps are still really good currently in Dracotail, but if you want to run certain engines, which are I think optimal right now, I don't think you have more than maybe 13 or 14 non-engine slots, and if you are running a hand trap deck, I don't think 14 is that insane, probably. Like it could be alright, but I think 14 isn't enough. So that's why I'm currently running this package. Like obviously you play these. This is the new trap. For those who don't know, it's you can banish one monster or one spell from the opponent's graveyard, or you can even banish one spell, one monster. And if you do, it's the same effect as Flame, for example, which is really nice. And the reason I run this over Horn is honestly because right now I think the most matchups are a lot more grindy, and the fact that especially against like matchups like Mitsurugi, you can banish the Futsu if they want to bring it back, or like you can banish the Murokumo if they want to bring it back, or like cut them off their grind game completely with 1 or 2 turns. And which is why I think this is quite nice. And the same with Yami, you can banish the field spell and Snatchy, for example, quite easily. So yeah, I think Horn in that sense has less applications. The only reason you should play Horn over this, if you play the Shadow package, because Horn can bounce whatever monster, like for example Mitsurugi summons. Like you activate the Horn in battle phase, so you bounce like the Murokumo if they want to get over the window and stuff like that. Otherwise, I think right now this is just strictly better. And I don't run 3 traps because I'm of the belief that I think 3 traps in the main deck is a bit too much. I think it's like a 33% chance or 34% chance you open one, and you kind of want to search these. Same with these, but these are just too good to cut. And I think it's the same idea with just like with Malice, where they played 3 of the traps originally and cut down on 1, sometimes 2, but mostly 1 trap, so they don't open them all that much. Yeah, I think it's the same way. I think running a small branded package after DOOD is optimal. Like, you don't need to run more, I think. Like, this is just like you use this as a turbo way to get like a non-target banish, get some resources back, and sometimes get like, you can even with which I'm gonna show you in the extra deck later, you can even bring back like for example this one out of the graveyard with the branded engine, or like this one. And the reason you play Cartesia is mostly because obviously it's a light, and sometimes if you already have access to this, obviously you don't want to send it. And the same goes for this. Like if you already have access to it, you can send Cartesia, I mean, and afterwards you can get it back to the hand. So that's why you run this, and obviously you already played Cartesia before. I think it's a good card. It's a little bit worse going second, obviously, but I think it's fine. Like you obviously, not obviously, but you can side these out if you go second, just to get more non-engine. And yeah, but in general I really like this package. I think this is probably, until we get Spoon, the way you should play Dracotail, because it basically enables these two to bridge full combo into Dragontail if you have less starters basically. So with Branded Fusion you have pure starters, you have like these 8 plus that's 11, that's 14, and then obviously like these 2 plus the 5 mana if they come up. Yeah, I mean, I think this is just optimal to play right now, and it gives you like a lot more pushes. Like imagine your hand going second is like a Rahu, a Ketu, and a Branded Fusion. I mean, how many ashes can they have basically at this point? So yeah. Also, that's why I felt like in right now with Smasher also gone, and you don't really want to play into K9 all that much, especially with Noroi. You don't really need to play hand traps all that much, I think. You can just play a board breaker approach, especially in Dracotail, because you have so many pushes anyways. And that's why I play not only that secondary engine, I also play the HM package. It's a quite big package, but it's mostly like you could think about running 2 poly, one of this and this. Like this is like I think the minimum package you need to run if you play this. But usually if you play the big package, it doesn't matter what you open. Basically of this, like it gets you to the other one, and then the turn after you can also activate it. So most of the time this is not only a push going second, this is also an extender plus more follow-up for the next turn. That's why I really like this. And the other reason is because it's, in my opinion, synergizes really well with branded, like with branded fusion. Because if you don't want to, like, you have 2 choices basically going second. You can branded fusion and go into the Mirror Jade immediately. So you banish your Albas and you banish your Albion. Or you can discard 1, like go basically minus in hand advantage a little bit. And then get some recursion going. And this helps you with it. Like usually, like if you don't stop branded fusion, you send this to the graveyard, add this back, maybe add this from the graveyard with Athelion, and this searches you another poly and another one of this. So now you have like 3 discard fodder, because you will never need to edge anymore. So yeah, that's just like an example. So yeah, that's why I run this. If you play hand traps, you obviously cut this engine because it's the one that's less important, I think. And you cut maybe one of this. So you have 8 more slots. But this way you have 6 slots exactly after you play a bunch of engine basically. And those 6 slots will be 3 Fuvalos and 3 Droplet. I think if you play Breaker in this version, like you have a lot of pushes, and the only thing that is a little bit annoying if one of your pushers gets flamed and the other one gets ashed. That's why this on flame obviously is really nice, because you can just send the target away. And the other one, Droplet, is really versatile against Mitsurugi as well. The issue sometimes with not right now, I'm sorry. The issue with Mitsurugi is that their monsters are sometimes just like bigger than yours, and you can do nothing about it. This changes it. Like you can just Droplet Murokumo after they do not have any spells anymore. Yeah, I'm sorry, you need to go. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is basically the list I'm running right now. Just like I will show you the extra deck afterwards. After this, I just want to get one more thought out for main decks. I see a lot of people running Crawley as well. I think Crawley is really good. I think the whole package with having a monster negate plus like the invoked fusion the dark one that is straight up busted, honestly. It's really strong, and I totally see why people are playing that version. The only reason I'm not really convinced by it right now is because I'm of the belief after the Smasher hit, you will be seeing a lot more breakers, especially in like the YCS and stuff. So I would probably think like 60% of the decks you will face are going to be hand traps, but around 40% will choose to play breakers. And especially I think decks like Mitsurugi can use a mix of breakers and hand traps. The same with I think pretty much every deck, but I really like breakers and Dracotail as well. Obviously, you can play hand traps, and don't get me wrong, it's probably really nice. I mean, even if you run the my deck approach, like not really mine, but the branded one, you will have with this plus like one less of this, you will have like 14 non-engine slots, and if you really want to cut it down, like this is probably 15. So there is a way you can cut down to 15, like boost your numbers up to 15 hand traps. I mean, I think there is a world where people will still play hand traps in Dracotail, because like having the option to just recycle like an Ash, recycle like a Veiler, Nibiru, like if you think you prefer the hand traps, I think Nibiru should still be in it, just like it helps against Mitsurugi and against Dracotail. Obviously it's not insane, but especially going first, like there is no way people can push through your board and kill you through a Nibiru. It's just impossible. And it also pairs really well against like Canine variants. Christian Canine will still be really represented, I think. I think the deck is... It just got like probably a slap on the wrist. I think the deck is still insanely strong. Yeah, that's why I think Nibiru is still important. Just so you can make a combo of Nibiru Veiler, Nibiru Ash, or like you probably play Ash, Veiler, Nibiru, and potentially like Bell or something. The last one I'm not sure about, but probably something like this. And yeah, that's also an approach you can take. I just really like having as many pushers going second as possible. And yeah, I'm not sure if you can break every board, but you can break pretty much a lot. For the extra deck, because of the branded version, like you do not have that much space. Like I cut down a lot of things I thought would be pretty valuable, but I didn't have the space for it. I think 3 Athelion, you are never cutting down on this. This is insane. 1 Gourmet, you play 1 Secretarian Dragon, 1 Branded Chimera, and 1 Philias. With the new trap, you have better graveyard removal, so you could think about cutting this. But I still decided to play it, especially in matchups like Mitsurugi, where you kind of want to banish 2 specific cards in almost 1 turn if you're able to. Like you want to banish the the one that revised from grave, I don't know the name, the Futsu. And you want to banish the, I think it's called like the one that adds back from grave or banishment, basically. Like if you get the grind game to a halt there, it's really nice. And I think especially against Mitsurugi, the branded version is really good, just because you can banish their stuff non-targeting with Mirror Jade, and if they Raigeki you, this becomes insane. Yeah, so for the branded cards I played 5. I'm just going to explain why I played these 5 specifically. I think these 3 are non-negotiable. I think this is like pretty much in every single one. You could bump these copies up a little bit, but yeah. This is usually like the follow-up card. You do your usual play with Albion, make Banish Albion, special Lubellion, and put this back into the extra deck to make Mirror Jade. And then you send the Albion and get the second branded fusion back. With the second branded fusion, you usually can go into this one, into the Sectarian rank, sorry for the glare, to revive either your Cartesia, or you can revive this one. Yeah, that's pretty much why you play it. And don't forget, this cannot be targeted. So if you play against Sky Striker, remember you can pretty much just win the game. I would say not really win the game, but it's getting damn close. Against them, if you just make this special summon one to their side of the field, and then pretty much their only outs is hard draw enormous summon, and sorry, and like droplet basically. So yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that they can do. And this one in particular is really, I think this is maybe the one flex spot, but I really like this nonetheless. For one reason in particular, this card needs a Fallen Elbers and a monster worth 2500 or more attack. And it reads that it is unaffected for the rest of the turn by the activated effects of other special summon monster from the extra deck. So if you special summon this and have nothing else on board, this is like a really simple out to Herald. You just activate Branded Fusion, Fusion Summon 2 into this one, and you usually use one of your pan. That's also why in this version I don't like having less than, like, not that many pans. I really like a lot of pans. And you can just attack over the Herald, and after that I think the Yummy matchup becomes quite manageable. So I really like this, especially if you don't run that many hand traps. This is really nice. So yeah, that's it for the fusions. It's a lot of fusions, so obviously something like D-Barrier is quite effective, and Retaliating Sea also, but oftentimes when against certain matchup, I do believe you can even decide to let them go first, and if they go first, like if Yummy goes first, and they have Retaliating Sea in their hand, I don't think they would really want to use it. I really think if they decide to use Retaliating Sea, a lot of their interruptions become so bad. like the Herald cannot send to the graveyard anymore. You cannot use the Snatchy anymore because every material you use is getting banished. And yeah, for the last 3 cards I played the Seeds package and SP. There's some cards missing that a lot of people are running. Like for example, you are not running Typhon right now, and you are not running the Cross Sheep, which is in my opinion also really good. But I decided to use these 3 nonetheless, because especially in this version, going second, you have a lot of your pushes, like for example the Branded Fusion and like the Rahu, and obviously Mululu, but Mululu isn't really often your play going second, especially not your first play. You cannot make Typhon anyways. And the other thing is Cross Sheep is also really nice, but you shouldn't, going first, determine that, oh, I have Branded Fusion in my deck, so I shouldn't run any Link monster. I think it's honestly really nice to run these 2, even if you have Branded Fusion, because you don't really have a way to search it. If you draw it, it's really nice, obviously. If you don't draw it, you just play Dracotail control. Like you just play pure Dracotail and you can make a Seals that way, and that really optimizes your board, in my opinion. Yeah. For side deck right now, it's just a draft, but I play 3 Droll, 3 Phantasme, 3 Lava Golem, 3 Fenrir, and 3 Perulia. Yes, you play quote-unquote Breaker, because you don't run any hand traps, but it doesn't make this deck any less aware, I would say. Like, the deck still needs monsters. Like, right now you play 14 spells, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 15. Which is fine because all of the spells convert into a monster afterwards. But yeah. And the reason why I run these, because every single one of these helps with a breaker approach, basically. Like obviously you play this into Yummy, which in turn helps a lot against like drawing like your pushes, basically. It's that simple. You play Lava Golem because in this version, especially after siding, when you take out the Cartesias, you don't have a lot of normal summons you need. Like you obviously have like this one as a normal summon, but you can get used without it. And Lava Golem, I think in this format is actually really nice if they can play it. The same with the with Kaijus. I think Kaijus are really nice, and it doesn't matter that much which one you use. But yeah, I really like the Lava Golem currently, because it just like, you don't need to bounce it. Like, if you play against Nulla Knight and you draw it, you need to specifically use the Kaiju to get over one of the towers. Then you need to bounce it and go over it again, which is like one more card. Jesus. Maus, ist doch alles gut. Jetzt nicht, aber ja. You need to go over, like, you need to use one of your Athelion bounces just to out the board basically, which is more than you should use. You want to use your resources, especially if you use this, because you want to bounce more of your cards. That's why I currently run this, and it's even nice against like the Yummy board, because you just Lava Golem, usually they end on like 1 or maximum 2 snatchies, but you Lava Golem them for 1 snatchy and the Herald, then you can bounce it back, and then if they make another snatchy, you just use it again, which is really nice. So you out a lot of their board with 2. So against Yummy, you usually set on this. This obviously is probably the one a lot of people are cutting currently right now. But the thing is, like, especially in Dracotail, like, canine cards are still annoying. Like, if you play against like Crystron Canine, you kind of really want to have this in your side deck. Like, you usually want to side in like these 6. So yeah. And this is just like my thought process. Retaliating C is in this format for sure. So I want something that can potentially deal with it. Not optimally, but it can deal with it. So that's why I run Fenrir. And yeah, this is just basically right now the side deck. I'm not sure if I'm completely happy with it, but I'm okay with it, I guess. For other variants of this deck, I think, again, like hand traps are fine in this deck, are really nice in this deck, because it is kind of control-ish. It is supposed to grind, like Santoli also said. It is supposed to just stop the opponent from making a very large field, and then recur your resources that way. But I felt it always seemed really annoying when your opponent makes a half bird, like maybe a snatchy plus 1 name or something, and you play into it, and then they have like a purge, ash in hand, and then afterwards like maybe an imperm or something. Like, the issue is usually if you hand trap someone like once or twice, or maybe let's say 2 or 3 times, you will usually start your hand with like 3 or 4 cards, and then if you play against a hand trap deck as well, 2 or 3 cards are going to not be able to activate. Like, it's just how it is. So you need like, of those 4 cards, you need like 4 pushes sometimes, or like 3 pushes, and it's getting a little bit annoying if you have like these two pushes or like 3 pushes, and then you try to get your resources back out of the graveyard with Athelion, and it gets impermed. Like against Mitsurugi, like, you are not grinding that out anymore. So that's why I'm not on the hand traps right now. The only issue with like trying to break the board and like having a lot of pushes, so you always start your hand with 6 or more cards, and it's just because time. I think especially in like these really grindy matchups, you need to play a little bit faster. And yeah, that's why against, for example, against Sky Striker, like, I went to time twice with the new time rules. One against Memento and one against Sky Striker. Both times I think we both, like they and also me, could have played faster. But we didn't, and we tried to grind like games out which were lost already. And yeah, that's basically how we got into time, and then we just compared hands pretty much and thought, yeah, okay, maybe like I win this, maybe you win this. But both of these grindy matchups, in my opinion, are more than playable with this variant. You just need to remind your opponent to play fast, play a little bit faster yourself, not like think 30 seconds about each fusion summon you do. And you should probably still be able to play it out. Yeah, I think especially if you go into later rounds of like a YCS, this approach will get better because people are going to play faster. But in early rounds, it could be a little bit scary if you play against a Memento player that isn't, or like also a Sky Striker player, or maybe the mirror match, who isn't well versed in some interactions. So yeah, that's why but overall I really like this variant. It's, sorry for the long discussion, but I think the other variants like Shadows are also really nice in this deck. But the issue with Shadows, they aren't really good into the format, I think. The only deck Shadows are really, really nice in is against Mitsurugi. And because this deck struggles a lot against like the nuke. Like of course you have like the Pan and Grave to revive something back, but the nuke is still annoying for you, and just having a monster that is not destroyable and limits their summons basically is really nice, especially against like Futsu, because Futsu bringing back everything out of the graveyard, and then those cards basically say you cannot use the effect of Pan or like the effect of your other fusion, like the Guamel or like the Guardian Chimera, because they can just protect it, like a Dengisu, which is really rough. So yeah, that's why it can get a little bit iffy. But overall, if you play a lot of engine, especially in this matchup, you can force the Futsu to go into the graveyard with like a Prayers or something. If you hold your Pan and just use the Monlulu, and afterwards you can use something like Branded Fusion to banish it, or like also, I don't know, there's one more, the Philia, yeah, the Philia also. Like that's why it's really important to have like these cards, so you have ways to banish their stuff without them being able to protect everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What I have to say about this. I think the Crowley variant is really strong, but currently it's not well positioned, probably. And like against other decks, I think this is probably almost the best way to play this deck. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I really hope you liked the discussion, what I had to say, and maybe you have some input that I forgot about. But with the new Dracotail card, I think Branded is probably the push you sometimes need. Not going first, especially. I think going first you have a lot of interaction anyways, but going second for sure. And yeah, I hope you have a nice day, and see you soon maybe.